Hello everyone, my name is Jamie McQuaid from Magnet Forensics, and today we've got a couple of quick videos to help you get started with Magnet AXIOM. In this video, we're going to talk about doing some analysis in the file system and registry views using AXIOM, traversing between the different views here. So normally people start with the artifacts, and last video was on the artifacts, and you can see I've got a Google search up here with the artifacts. As I mentioned previously, we always list the source and location for all of the artifacts that we have here. So what I can do is if I want to actually go to the file system for this given artifact, I could just click on this link, and you see this is for a Windows 7 computer. It'll take me to the history SQLite database for that exact artifact. So we click on that. You can see it took me to the drop down, took me automatically to the file system view, and automatically, if I scroll up here, took me to the Windows 10 PC and down the partition all the way to the default folder, and there's that history database. So I can look at the raw details of it. This is just the file system details. You get the MAC times, you get cluster size, and all of that fine details from NTFS. But if we also look a little bit further down, you get the raw hex and text for anything. Now you can see that took us to the start of the hex and text of that file, and nice thing with the hex and text there, if I bring this over a little bit better, you could go through and decode some of that data as well. Now this is a SQLite database, so there's nothing too exciting to decode in the raw hex and text, but if I start scrolling through here and start highlighting data, you can see a little bit further down, it will try to decode that for us as well. So it'll try to decode strings or timestamps for us. So as I highlight, it'll try to do some ASCII, base 64, Unicode, or any other types of data you might have there. But it'll also do timestamps. So say you find a timestamp that we don't pull as an artifact in the raw metadata of a file, you just start highlighting it, and we'll try to decode what that timestamp is. Now that's not a valid timestamp, obviously, but you can see we tried to decode it there as HFS plus or a Unix 32-bit timestamp there, which obviously gave us an incorrect one, but you can see how that works quite easily there. So as you highlight, it'll try to decode that data as best it can for you, which is a nice little feature. But this is a SQLite database. If I scroll back up to the hex and text, you can see it starts with there's the SQLite header. So we could actually view that SQLite database natively inside AXIOM. All you need to do is you see this little icon that indicates it's a SQLite database. I can double click on that. It'll open up on our SQLite viewer. And if I take a look, there is the tables here. There's the URLs table. And if I take a look over here, we can actually start seeing the URLs, the title for that, the database, visit time, all of that. You get the visits table as well. You get the visit source table. This one's empty. But you get the idea that we can actually take a look at that. Now, this isn't meant to be a deep dive viewer for or analysis tool for SQLite. It's just meant to preview it for you. If you wanted to actually dive a little bit deeper and wanted to use another tool to do that, if I go back outside the SQLite viewer, I could very easily, I went a little too far up here, so let me go to the default one. And if I go down to the actual history database, I could right click on this and I can save that file out, or because it's a database, I can open the database with, and I can choose to open it in any native viewer if you've got something sitting on your examination machine that you wanted to take a little bit closer look through that. So again, nice SQLite viewer built right into it. This works really well for mobile devices as well as the Chrome SQLite databases, but there's a lot of SQLite databases on mobile devices, so that native viewer can be really helpful. We also have a plist viewer for iOS devices. So if I get out of the Windows computer, which will have no plists in it, we do have, there's an iPhone in here. So if I take a look at the iPhone here, I can see and look at any plists as well. So right off the top here, we've got an info plist that if I wanted to look through, I could easily get some details from the info.plist file. And you can see this is admin's phone. You get the IMEI there, some details on the installed applications, phone number, and all of those details you would normally expect to find in a plist. So again, nice little native viewer in the file system there to take a look at it. And you can see we've got all the folder structure shown shown through there, either through the standard way or the interpreted way through the manifest for iOS devices as well. So lots of different options there. Another way we could actually manipulate data in the file system here is, if I move this back over, let's take a look a little bit closer at go back to that Windows 10 machine here and look at partition 3, and I can see users. There's one user, admin. Now this is just going to show me the content of the admin folder, but if I want to get a recursive view, a lot of people use recursive views to view all the files under the admin profile. So everything that fits in, not just in this folder, but in all of these folders, you would, instead of selecting selected folders only, you could easily flip over to all subfolders. This basically gives you a recursive view of all of the files within that, so to run a full search on everything. And you could do that for the entire drive as well. There it goes, and it's you can actually go through and do any sort of sorting or filtering if you wanted to sort on the created time or anything like that. And this can help if you're looking for doing some timelining activity in the file system, but in a larger scale beyond just what the contents of a single file or folder. Additionally, if I go back to, and I'll go just to selected folders only and go back to users here, I've got the user admin right here, but pretend there's 3 or 4 users to this computer, and I want to see all the artifacts related to just the admin user. I can right-click on any on the admin folder here, and I can do this for any file or folder in the file system, and I can click View Related Artifacts. So I can do that. It automatically flips me to the artifacts page, and it will run a filter to just show me the admin's artifacts. So instead of looking at 600,000 or so artifacts for the entire case, there's only 43,000 that are found under the user's profile. This is really helpful, especially if you want to look at just the browsing activity or just the chats or anything related to just that single user. Again, you could very easily do this for any file or folder. Maybe you just want to see anything that came from unallocated space. Same sort of concept applies. Let me clear that filter out. And let me flip over to the registry view. So we also have a dedicated registry view. You might have seen some of the registry hives in the file system, but you can actually look at those in a dedicated registry view as well. And you can see there's the file system and there's the registry, but let's actually use that same source linking we used to get to the file system view, and we'll do that to the registry. So let's go to operating system artifacts. You can see there's a whole lot here. Let's find one that goes to the registry. There's user assist. So I can see there's a whole lot of user assist activity here, and there's a reference to our RAM capture tool. So somebody used on a USB our RAM capture tool to acquire memory, and it came up in the user assist here. So we can see that there's the basic details. It was run once. There's the date and time. It was March 16th, and you can see this came from the user's ntuser.dat. Perfect. If I clicked on the source, it would take me to the file system, right to the ntuser.dat. The location, however, is the key within the hive. So if I click on this, it will take me to the registry view, and it will automatically take me right down to where all that beautiful user assist data is. Now, Microsoft loves to store that in ROT13, so it's really ugly, but we've done the translation for you on the artifact side, but you can see very easily that's how it gets stored in there, and you can take a look at any of the details as you want to go through. Like I said, you do get to see all of the registry hives here. There's the Windows 10 PC, there's all the hives, there's the users hives for the ntuser.dat and whatever else, but you can very easily follow through that. The nice thing about linking back and forth is that in case you can't remember exactly where things are in the registry, or you don't like traversing through that entire hierarchy, the one click really gets you there a lot faster. And again, you can still do that source linking from the evidence sources. So if I click here, this will take me to the file system, right to that user's ntuser.dat. And again, I could easily right click, save the file out, and then I could do some additional analysis outside of Axiom. So you have some dedicated registry tools you want to use. You can easily export that out and do some additional analysis there. That's everything I wanted to show for this video. Thanks for watching.